Hello and welcome to Elemental Energies with Chris Ann and Jeff. And I'm Chris Ann.
I'm Jeff.
And welcome. Glad you guys could join us here on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Welcome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We love doing this radio show. So thank you, Jeff, for joining me.
Thank you for joining me, Chris Ann.
So, as you guys know, if you've listened to our show before, we always like to have sort of a lively conversation, a different sort of type of chat about different things that are going on, whether it be going on with people that we see around us or things that are happening around us. We always like to have different conversations based on that. So tonight, we're going to be talking about Reiki and different healing modalities and different light workers, etc.
Different powers that be.
Exactly. Different powers that be, different energies.
Right.
And, we have, well, more so you, but, in the past, we have witnessed sort of, I guess, a healing snobbery.
Oh, absolutely.
Amongst.
Thus prompted the show. Comments on Facebook today.
Yes. Oh, yes. Facebook is always good for giving us topics. That's true. Right. I've been a Reiki practitioner for well over 20 years. 23 plus years. I'd have to add it up exactly. But I'm a Reiki master teacher. And I have loved every minute of it. I am multiple different types of Reiki practitioner. I, of course, started with the Usui, and then I have branched out to all different types of angel Reiki and Kundalini Reiki. And I'm a Kundalini Reiki master. I'm an angelic Reiki master. I'm a shamanic Reiki master. I am an Archangel Michael Reiki master. I am Kuan Yin Reiki master. The list goes on. I mean, I take a whole different types of classes every time I come across a different type of Reiki or different other healing modalities because I'm always adding those into my tool bag. Now, I know you're a Reiki master teacher as well, and you have developed your own type of Reiki that you're going to be sharing with the masses very soon. So tell us briefly about that.
Oh, it's a long story. Do we have 2 hours?
We have 2 hours.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, the deal is, before I met you, I had done a multitude of healing as well. I had, for a time, I was a Christian and I did spiritual healing in the church.
Many years ago.
Many years ago. Then I became kind of disenchanted, if you will, with that, the religious aspect of said church.
Yep.
And so anyway, after that, I kind of moved into a shamanic type of healing and started downloading information in regards to the Elder Fault Arc runes.
Yes.
And
so you are a rune reader.
Correct.
Anyways.
I'm a rune reader. So I read runes. I do it professionally. I do it for actually some pretty good money.
Yeah. It's your job.
Right. Yeah, it's one of my jobs, one of my hats. And but I also use it for everyday aspect of pretty much everything. I use the runes for, I'm kind of eclectic, so I use different things. If I'm doing candle magic, then I will inscribe my bind runes into the candle. Just a bunch of different things. Also, my altar consists of, when I have it set up, I have this fabulous, huge altar that's just absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
But in all reality, my altar is simply that travertine bowl with the white sand in it.
That you carved. You carved the bowl.
Right. And I use that to scribe runes in as I do my energy work.
Right.
So, actually, I started out after doing the shamanic healing. I actually got with this wonderful Usui Reiki master teacher.
Don't know who that was.
Yeah. And so I studied with you,
Yep.
and I found myself being turned into something else.
Yeah, but even more of a wonderful thing.
Right. It was like before Reiki, I was like a steak knife. And now my gifts are more like a scalpel, if you will.
Yeah.
Much
Yes, I can see
sharper,
that.
much more precise, much
Yes.
more controlled.
Yes.
And so, because of all my past and because of my love for the runes and learning more and more and having more and more information come to me from my spirit guides, from the universe, from wherever it all comes
Right,
from.
it's just being downloaded into you.
I'm also, I wrote my first book in
Yes.
regards to modern basic runes, because although the rune history and all of that information is all well and good, 90% of what's being taught pertains to situations that were of Nordic and Viking days.
Right. Which is so a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. The world's a little different now.
Right.
And so I created Modern Basic Runes class and the book in order to be able, for people to be able to learn to use runes with all the other different modalities that they do.
Right. And it's a good class. I'm happy to say I took the class.
Thank you.
I learned a lot in the class because I am somebody that used to use runes in my readings for years, actually. And this class just kind of opened me up and gave me some more tips and tools and more information on how to incorporate it even more into my work, which I love.
And my goal in the class is to explain that we're all completely different. We all do things completely different one from the other. So what I give when I teach, I ask that you take what you can use that will enrich you, use. What you can't, then don't use it.
Right.
But how much better is it to know that you can incorporate rune use with what you're already doing?
I know. It's really neat.
I mean, why does it have to be one or the other? It doesn't.
No,
that's a man-made thing.
Right. It doesn't.
You don't have to choose.
Right.
You can do whatever you please.
Right.
And with and so that is the modern rune basics. And in order to do the rune Reiki that I'm developing,
which is the second class,
which is going to be the second class, you also need to have a background of energy work healing, such as Usui Reiki.
Right. At least level 2.
Yeah, at least level 2, or one of the other Reikis, level 2.
Well, everybody has to start with Usui.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, anyway, the reason why that you need to have that level, and you also have to have the modern basic runes, is because in modern basic runes, we talk about, one of the things that I talk about in the class is Galdar. Okay.
And explain that.
Galdar simply stated, well, in the old language, Galdar meant, and they would describe it as croaking the runes.
Right.
So, obviously some of them were better singers than others, obviously.
I'm in the not good singer part.
Well, I don't know where I stand in that, but
better
anyway,
than I.
So Galdar, what Galdar is your runes, you know the intention that you're broadcasting. You have it in your mind firmly and strongly, and you're using your voice to push your intention in the intonement of the rune to do whatever it is that you're manifesting to be done.
And it's really neat because you are, in a sense, singing the rune. singing the name of the rune, but not just that, but you're also calling in other guides and angels and
you're harnessing,
everybody.
You're actually harnessing all this energy that's all around you. Your entire body is absorbing this energy. Every time you take in breath to, if you will, blow out the rune, sing out the rune, then you're expelling that energy that you pull in.
Cool.
And so you're not just saying the rune, you're manifesting intention
with
the rune.
Right. It's really, really neat. So you
and you're focusing through your throat chakra.
Right.
The energy.
Right. Which is powerful. It's powerful to have it open for yourself, and it's powerful to have it open for your healing practice, etc. So
and I do it as I guess in a past life I was also Hindu or something, because I do it through mantra.
You do.
If you want to sing it like John Denver, that's well and good. But
you know I do.
I know you do. I know you do.
But I don't sound like John Denver. So you have developed and downloaded this other information to sort of combine your Usui Reiki background. You do other types of Reiki as well. You do your Archangel Michael Reiki. You do other types as well. So you're combining all of that with your love, your passion for runes, and you're creating the rune Reiki. So all of this started because somebody had said to you on Facebook. So let's share what this. And I'm not gonna pass judgment until after you say.
Okay. So and then you can say if you agree with my statement or whether you disagree with my statement.
All right. Which I don't always agree with you, and I'm happy to say I have the ability to say whether I agree or not, and that doesn't affect us.
Oh, absolutely not. Because I am always learning. I don't know everything, despite what people think.
I'll help you with that.
Yeah. Despite what people think, I don't know everything. But, so all facetiousness aside, I really don't know everything. And
nobody
I'm
does.
more than willing to be open to learn.
Right.
Truth of the matter is, oftentimes I learn as much from my students as I teach.
Absolutely. I love questions. I love people sort of looking in deeper. But anyways, tell us what was said so that we know, and then we can go on from there.
So anyway, in this conversation, in regards to something that somebody else posted, I posted a video showing this young man that was going through one of these big malls.
Yes, I know the video you're talking about. But yes, go ahead.
And this guy was manipulating energy and letting people experience it and moving energy with his hands so that these people, like him, just manipulating his own magnetic field and all of this.
But either way, he still did it, and people still felt something.
Right. But then
whatever you want to call it.
Another person popped up and said that she was a Reiki 2, she was Reiki 2 level and studied Usui Reiki, and that only Usui Reiki practitioners could access Usui Reiki energy, and that it all was a grid form with all the students, and we all sucked energy from each other and from this huge grid of light workers that were only Reiki, Usui Reiki users, and the Usui Reiki Usui energy could only be accessed by a Usui Reiki practitioner. And I'm like, baloney.
Okay. Well, I think so. I'm going to break this down into a couple components.
Well, I hadn't finished yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So
no, go ahead. Sorry.
My response to her was that I didn't suck energy from anybody. I accessed the energy that surrounded all living and non-living things.
Good answer.
We're all surrounded by energy that I am a Usui Reiki master teacher,
right?
But I don't suck it from anybody, and there's no way that I would say that only Reiki practitioners can access energy, because to me, Usui Reiki is just another form of training to access the energy that surrounds all of us.
I agree with that. I think Usui Reiki is a wonderful way for people to get started on their healing path. It is a great sort of bridge to get started. It is not the end all to be all of all types of healing modalities. I have some friends that are amazing healers. I interviewed Dee Dee Eaton. Dee Dee Eaton has never taken Reiki, and she does Primus activation. And that is a form of energy work that works with the heart energy. And that energy is just as powerful as Usui Reiki. So to say that only Usui people are tapping into Usui energy, well, I can see both sides of that coin. But I think there are people that are natural born healers. And they don't need necessarily to be Reiki attuned in order to do what they're doing. You were already doing healing work before I attuned you to Reiki.
Right.
You were doing powerful healing work before I already attuned you. And I think that's what made you even a better healing practitioner, a better light worker, because you already had sort of that basis. And this was just another tool for your tool bag. But for people who have never done formal healing work before, Usui is a great place. Usui Reiki is a wonderful place for people to start. But to say...
Well, or to finish, or to...
Right. Oh, right. You don't even have to go anywhere else from there. Right.
Right. It's awesome on its own. It's awesome as another arsenal in your tool bag.
Absolutely.
I mean... I learned so much from you.
Thank you.
And it brought so much focus to what I was already doing.
Cool.
It just, and before studying with you, sometimes I would slip up and I would actually use my own energy. I would want it so bad to heal the person so badly
that you were draining
that
yourself.
I was actually taking my energy and pushing it in to the person. But after studying with you, it's like a switch went off, and now I can just pull energy from all around me. So I can just keep going. I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I could just keep healing and Reiki, and doing work.
Reiki is the universal energy of love and light. It is not coming from us at all.
Right.
It's coming through us.
Correct.
And to say that only Reiki practitioners can tap into that is hugely mistaken, because there are so many other types of healing modalities, and Reiki is just one. And you know what? Usui Reiki is a fun energy to work with, but to say that is unique is also something that I don't believe either, because energy is energy.
And according to the statement that kind of, if you will, set me up today, the woman was making out like Usui Reiki was some kind of form of higher religion, that you must worship at Usui Reiki's feet. I mean, it's like, okay,
it's
give me a break.
It's a tool. It's wonderful. Do not get me wrong.
I agree.
I absolutely love being a Reiki master teacher. I love teaching Reiki. I am so passionate about teaching Reiki. It is one of my favorite things to do, because I like getting other students involved and getting that going and getting that activated.
I can't wait to start teaching mine.
I know.
I really
it's
can't.
Fun.
I mean, at this point, I am almost to the point where I'm like, I don't want to take any more side jobs.
I know.
Screw that.
I know.
I want to finish my book and start teaching.
Right, because you do tile work and you do all this amazing work with your hands as well for people in their homes. So you're bringing love and light into people's homes through natural stone that you're installing in their bathrooms.
And they don't even know it, but they're getting Reiki.
I know.
Reiki work.
You should charge extra for that.
I know. So their bathrooms they're getting much more relaxation out of their bathrooms than just simply showering.
And I think our friends that are hiring you to come in and do that are getting it. But I think the people that don't know what you do that are hiring you are getting a bonus.
Oh, absolutely. I know they are.
Yeah.
Because they can feel my excitement, they can feel my energy in the work that I do.
Right.
And, to be perfectly honest, I do love working with my hands and I do love creating the things that I create.
And you're good at it.
But I'll be really happy too when I don't have to do that anymore.
I know.
But, at this time with us starting our business and we've got a lot of things that we want to do.
Yeah, a lot going on. Lot going on. Life has a way of doing that. So, getting back to the Reiki, I think as light workers, we need to be able to embrace and respect the different forms of all the different healing modalities that are out there. Right. My healing modality is no better than somebody else's healing modality. If it works, it works. Right. That's the phenomenal part of energy. We're talking about Reiki. We're using Reiki specifically as one of our primary examples, but we're really talking about energy.
Right.
And we're talking about intent. And energy is accessible by all, for all,
that's true,
through all.
And, another thing that I would say as well and stress is that doing energy work through intention, your intention is manifesting whatever it is that you're working towards. So when you do your spell work, when you do your laying hands on people for healing, if you're wishing others well, then your intentions that you're purposing in your mind, in your heart, they're actually turning energy into manifestation of what you wish to accomplish.
True, absolutely true. Very, very good point. And this energy is just accessed by all, whether you are a Reiki practitioner,
right,
or whether you're Primus activation, or whether you're doing kinetic chain release, whether you're doing massage.
Right.
All of these are all forms of energy work.
Well, and there is as many different forms of energy work as there are practitioners of energy work.
Absolutely.
We're all different. We're all individuals.
Right. And some people are hands-on practitioners.
Right.
I'm a hands-off practitioner because I can feel the energy better being a hands-off practitioner.
Well, sometimes I like being a hands-on practitioner.
I know you do. And that's okay.
There are times that I, like when you're on the Reiki table, sometimes I feel the need to do certain pressure points in your feet and connect you to the earth and ground you through your feet.
Right.
And it's worked with other people too.
Right.
But, and there is a Asian form of healing that takes place. Everything is in your feet.
Right. I'm an acupressure trained as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
I'm not.
I know.
I just do it intuitively.
Right. I just don't use the acupressure that much anymore because I'm more gone with the hands off Reiki kind of stuff. But my good friend and former business partner is an astounding acupuncturist.
Right.
And she is just phenomenal. And she will combine the acupuncture, obviously needles, with Reiki, with craniosacral, with crystal work.
Yeah, I wish she still took more clients. I'd like to go see her sometime.
I know she's phenomenal. Well, I see her monthly, and it's what keeps me mobile.
Well, and we also have friends that do things like kinetic chain release.
Right, which is very hands-on.
And I thought maybe at some point I would like to study that, but then I see her doing it, and I'm like, darn, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Maybe I'll just sit back here and yell at you.
There you go.
And manipulate your energy fields instead. That's a lot easier.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation basically on energy. So don't go anywhere. You've been listening to Elemental Energies with Chris and Jeff on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. We'll be right back.
Since 2014, the Pagan Business Network has been building resources by bringing together pagan-owned and pagan-friendly businesses. With multiple resources available, it doesn't matter if you're an artisan, musician, vendor, author, publishing company, blogger, podcaster, event planner, or any other organization. We have the resources here to help you succeed. Becoming a member is easy and affordable, even for the smallest of budgets. With your membership, you will get Business Spotlight, which is an article written in an interview style, complete with details and photos. Social media sharing through the Pagan Business Network. A blog roll. A membership card for discounts at participating businesses. You'll also get discounts on tickets to all Pagan Business Network events and so much more. You can check us out at paganbusinessnetwork.com for more information.
Is your ritual cloak ready for the rag bin? Are your guest towels sad and worn? Is your tote bag begging to retire? Then you need Twitch's Stitches. Twitch's Stitches is a custom embroidery shop with a pagan flair. From the classics and everyday designs to ornate ritual style, fantasy, furries, mythical, and so much more. They do t-shirts, ritual capes and cloaks, sweats, towels, blankets, hoodies, totes, and more. You name it, Twitch's Stitches can embroider it. And they love custom orders, so if you don't find what you're looking for, they're only a phone call or a message away. So if you want quality items lovingly crafted and embroidered, you have to check them out on Facebook. And that's www.facebook.com/Twitch's Stitches. That's TWITCHES STITCHES. However, we can't be held responsible when your friends and family try to swipe them, so tell them to get their own. Twitch's Stitches, for the love of design.
This is a message from Hawthorne at Magic in Your Living Room. The Etsy shop includes ritual programs and gorgeous altar cloths. We feature ready-to-use rituals for only $3 or less. You get step-by-step instructions, including a list of necessary items, how to set up the altar, and a complete program for all ritual activity. We also have beautiful altar cloths for all holidays. Magic in Your Living Room is located at Etsy at www.etsy.com/shop/Magic in Living Room or at www.magicinyourlivingroom.com.
Hello and welcome back
to
Elemental Energies with Chris and Jeff. Did you forget me?
With Jeff.
With just Jeff. Heck with the Chris Ann. You're listening on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Well, thanks for shuffling me out of the room there. You want your own radio show? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, I can try. Can't I?
That's right. I'm picking up on the energy of that since we're talking about energies. So we're continuing our conversation about Reiki and the fact that you don't necessarily have to be a Reiki practitioner in order to be a light worker.
Right.
There are other types of healing modalities that are just as wonderful that are out there. And, for all of us to sort of work together, not only are we as light workers here to help each other, people-wise, but we are also here to help the animals. We are here to definitely help the planet, raise the vibration of the planet, work with the trees, the soil. I love working with the water, especially.
Well, I do too.
To raise the vibration of the
planet.
Working with
fire too.
Oh, that's right. You work with fire. That's right. I forgot that one. But yeah, just to raise the vibration of the planet, to give the planet some healing energy, really is what sort of recycles back to us, because ultimately we go back to the planet after we die. We decompose, become part of the earth again.
So, I know we're talking about healing and we're talking about energy work and we're talking about light work. The thing is, the energy, I'm not going to say unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
yes.
The energy is also there and being used as well by people that aren't light workers.
Well, that's true.
That do things, do. Anyway.
There's both sides of the coin.
Right. They do things to harm others.
Right, that's true.
Their manifestations are driven by
greed,
ego,
hate. Yeah.
Anger,
all of the negative sort of aspects of life.
All of that. And they are using
energy.
The same energy.
Right, but they're manipulating it differently.
In a negative fashion.
Right. And that's a good point.
A lot of people we'll call it, for lack of a better term, called to the dark side.
Right.
Because they feel like it's more powerful or it's faster or whatever. And the reality is the only thing that would possibly make it any stronger would be the negative aspect of it, because the people that are doing it are willing to go out on a limb and willing to damage themselves in order to hurt other people.
Right.
And for light workers, it's a win-win situation for light workers.
Right, true.
Because not only are we helping and we're healing, but helping and healing others also helps and heals us.
Right. Everything comes back threefold. So when the energy comes through us to our client, whomever, whatever our client may be, that energy is coming through us. It's wonderful. It's like a little bonus.
Right.
It's not why I do it, but it is a bonus to doing it. Yep. And it's really an honor when somebody says, I choose you to be helpful along my healing path or my soul's healing path. And it's neat.
It is. And it's, just like the event we had this last weekend.
Yes, we were at the Enlightenment Expo all weekend. Right.
I was able to help a young person.
Yes.
And we had a really strong connection.
Yes.
And it was so delightful and it was so wonderful and it was so encouraging me for them to just keep going on and on about how wonderful it was to have found me. She
needed to find somebody. Oh, you're talking about somebody different. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Him. Well, there was another one that she needed to chat with you too.
Oh, that's true.
I thought you were talking about her. Yeah, no, on Sunday.
I talked to Sunday, the young man that I talked to. In fact, he's going to be coming for some classes.
Oh, cool.
But the woman that I talked to on Saturday, I, of course, wouldn't go into her reading that I did for her.
No.
But we were able to work together on things that she hadn't shared with anyone.
Nice. That's an honor. That's
Yeah,
an honor when
it really
somebody
was.
is comfortable enough that way.
And she couldn't understand it. She couldn't understand why these things were happening, why that they were the way they were.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turned out, they were the way they were because there were several past lives involved.
Right, right.
And
It's
so,
always past lives.
yeah, and so we needed to do some cutting and
Oh, cool.
and some work on that.
Well, that's nice. And when we do shows, and we do very few shows now that we have
Right.
the shop, but we will do all of the Enlightenment Expos. And Dee Dee, who we've had on the show before, is phenomenal. And she puts on a fantastic show. And it was packed. It was really packed
was
this
wonderful.
weekend. It was
And-
great.
And the energy of her shows are,
Jazzed.
yeah,
They're really jazzed. They're really
Yeah.
cool. She brings together a great group of people, and it's a thrill to be part of it. So this weekend, well, actually, this whole year since January, February, a lot of our energy worker friends have been telling us that the shows have really taken a big upswing this year
right.
in New England. I don't know what it's like in the area where you guys are listening in, but in New England, the shows have really had a big upswing. I guess people are really starting to need to connect with
They're
that
starting to
energy.
open up.
They're starting to open up. They're starting to get it. And all the psychic fair-like events that all of our friends are doing have been packed and have been phenomenal. So if that's anything of what's to come, not just here in New England, but if that's of anything that what's to come for the rest of not just this country, but the world, what a really cool thing, because we did connect with so many people that just needed to know they weren't alone,
Right.
needed to find their tribe.
Yeah.
And it's really cool when you see somebody's eyes twinkle when they get it, you know? As opposed to kind of glazing over. You know, these events, we're really getting people that get it or are looking to get even more. You know, just to connect with a crystal sometimes is really neat. And the kids all get it already. The kids
Yeah.
are like...
Yeah, kids are different now.
Kids are gone 10 times faster than the adults are a lot of times, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
really neat too.
It's
neat
a
to
good
see
thing.
it. It's a wonderful thing,
As long as they don't lose it as they grow.
right? As long as it's not sort of squelched out of them. Yeah, but it was a great event this weekend. We were really happy. This was the Enlightenment Expo in Portland, Maine, and Dee Dee puts this show on twice a year, and then she does the psychic poolside event. I think that one's in June.
Oh, I'm
Where-
really looking
I
forward
know
to
that one's going to be really cool because this is our first time being at that event. This is only her second time doing that particular one, but this is our first time going. And it's just a bunch of psychics having tables sitting around the pool in Portland at the Fireside Inn. And what is it, like 10 to 6? Yeah, it's really neat.
I'm flattered.
Yeah, we got invited and it was a really cool thing. And then the Enlightenment Expo again happens in September. And then in October is Rocktober, where she puts on her mineral show. And that one's always really jazzed. That one's really cool because only people that work with crystals and minerals are invited into this show. So all the readers have to incorporate crystals into their readings. And of course, you read with carved rune stones
That's
that
true.
you carve your own stone anyway. So that's,
yeah.
you're an automatic in. And I developed a new reading because the energies were just coming in that people needed to really connect with crystals. So I would just sort of, I had a whole collection of crystals that I would put out, and then people would pick a different crystal. And based on that crystal, we would talk about what their past lives were and how that correlated to what was going on now. So for them to pick a crystal and really be really drawn to a certain type of crystal, and we would just keep picking crystals and just keep talking as the time allowed.
Right.
You book me for a certain amount of time, and that's as much as we talk, and it's really
I could
neat.
see how that would work.
It was
you know?
fun.
Yeah.
But I always do past life stuff. It's really kind of neat. So anyways, we're looking forward to these events. They're really, really cool. And I'm really happy to see the energy is really buzzing around all of these events. The light workers are really coming out of the closet. The people that want to be light workers are really coming out and saying, hey, this is my time. I want to get on the bandwagon of this. I really want to get involved.
Well, and I've noticed that, even if they aren't wanting to get involved or whatever, they're curious.
They're curious. Yeah.
And they're open-minded to hearing whatever it is. Even if they aren't, if 100% embracing it.
Right. They may not be 100. They might still be
on the fence.
Right. But at least they're curious.
Right.
Which is really cool. Yeah, it was phenomenal. And this past event that we did, there's different classes that go on all day, and they're free classes with your paid admission into the event.
So what was the class that you were teaching then?
So I did a really cool class. I did a class on color magic. And cool. I never plan what I'm going to talk about. I bring a couple things. I just bring some visual things.
We're both the same.
I know, we're the same. I don't like to plan anything because then if I plan it, I'm going to forget something. And then I'll be mad I forgot something. So I don't even bother to plan.
I don't care for scripted teaching.
Yeah, no, me neither. So I just stand there and I talk. So what I did is I talked about how a lot of the color magic for me and in my techniques and in my way relates back to the chakras. So if you know your chakras, for instance, the base chakra is grounded and keeping you rooted in what it is that you really want, and that's the color red. So if we want to do candle magic and use a red candle, that's very passionate. That's bringing the passion in. So we can use that candle, that's the color that we're talking about. We can add in the crystals that correlate to that. We can add in the herbs that relate to that. We talked about how to do candle magic. We talked about how to grid with crystals. It was fun. It was a really cool class.
Well, the time before last that we did a show for Dee Dee, there was a class that I did on my laser quartz wands, talking about my laser quartz wands. Had no idea whatsoever where it was going to end up. But as it turned out, there were a lot of people. So I'm an empath, and especially with my laser quartz wands,
which are your favorites,
which are my favorites, they were generating enough, they were generating a lot of energy. But everybody that was holding a laser quartz wand had some very real nasty little hooks in their psyche, and especially self-esteem issues that were going on that they needed cutting. And so before the end of the class, we all ended up in a circle, and we did guided meditation in a circle with everybody was holding a crystal in their right hand, and they took their left hand and put it on the crystal in the hand of the person next to them. And it actually created this incredible light vortex that sucked all these nasty negative self-esteem issues out of everyone involved, cut it all, and just completely filled everyone with light. And it was so exciting. I want to do that sometime at one of our Reiki shares. I think that would be really good.
Well, I have it on the schedule that we're going to do it as a class as well. So
wonderful.
We're going to, I have already. Yes, I've already put you on the schedule.
Thank you.
Guess what you're doing?
Yay.
This is what happens when I make the schedule.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Just keep me posted.
Yeah. I'll let you know where to show up.
Yeah. Let me know what time and where.
Yeah.
Well, I know where, but let me know what time.
Yeah, because you've had such a wonderful experience with that and such wonderful energies with that I think we should sort of keep that going, and let this class lead into this class that leads into this class. And I'm glad that you had that experience that just sort of kick-started that for you.
Me too.
That was phenomenal. And I know you were loving that day. That was really, really neat.
It was so exciting to see the relief and the joy. And,
I get it.
Yeah, it was a wonderful.
I get it. Cool. That's wonderful. Well, I'm glad you had that fantastic experience.
So all those people left, and they had all had one of the most exciting aspects of it as well was everybody that participated, everybody that was there for that class.
Yes.
Everyone joined the circle. There wasn't one person left out.
Yes.
And they all got to feel this energy sharing, this energy working through them to heal somebody else.
Which is wonderful. And that's what it's all about.
Right.
That's the energy working through us.
Right.
For us, for our neighbors, for our friends, but it's through us when it's really, really neat, because sometimes it takes somebody to just sort of be the catalyst to call it in and direct it.
Well, and with energy work and especially with light work, the more people that are involved in the light work with the same intention, the more powerful that it is.
Right. It is. It's really, really neat. I remember when I went and visited you, it was quite a few years back when you were actually living in Arizona. I had taken sort of a detour and I was staying in Sedona for a few days, and I had my large crystal skulls with me, and I had some amazing pieces of selenite. And I just went to the top of one of the mountains there in Sedona, which is lovely and beautiful. And I did this amazing healing energy, and I sent it around the globe. And I have some great pictures of that event. And they're all over Facebook somewhere.
Yeah,
you've seen them.
Great pictures.
Yeah, you've seen them. It was a
well.
very powerful event, and the pictures themselves are really quite charged as well.
Oh yeah.
So whenever we get an opportunity to do healing work like that, it's really, really cool. I was just really called to do that while I was there.
Fun.
It was fun. It was really fun, and it was something that just. I was called to do it, so I went and did this, and it was really, really neat. And I made it so that the energy would perpetually be going on and continue to circulate and continue to charge everything that needed charging. And it was really neat. And I think...
Well, I know it changed my life.
Well, I know. It changed my life, too.
It was the first time I had ever met you in
person.
Yeah,
I met you in person. Yeah, because we started off as Facebook friends. Facebook.
Yeah. Social media.
Yes,
there
I know. Well, as light workers, we had a commonality. We were both doing energy work. You were working differently than I was working at the time, and we were both psychics. So even that, we were working very differently at the time. And, we had read for each other. And then I went to your shop in Arizona and read there, and that was really neat and really fun and really cool. So, yeah, now you're here in Maine.
I know.
Crazy energy, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy how things work. It's really, really neat.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened the way it did, because now we together are bringing this amazing energy here in Maine.
East meets west.
Right. Yeah, and now you're here in the East. So it's great. It's great that you can be part of the Lightworker family that's here, part of the energetic things that are going on here, which is just so wonderful and phenomenal. So glad you're joining us.
Me too.
And you've been welcomed, really, with
open
arms. So
absolutely, completely wonderful experience. Yeah. Everybody has been just overwhelmingly kind for the most part.
Yeah.
And
everybody has just been happy to have this crazy, tall, long-haired guy join us. Yeah. Who brings phenomenal energy. So it's something that we need to sort of keep our vibration up. And we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how we can raise our vibration, very, very simple ways to raise your vibration. I have some interesting stories about raising your vibration too, so I'm going to share those.
We should talk about different vibrations where you live as well, because I know the vibrations in Arizona were completely different than they are.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about all the different energy, the different vibrations of the energy. Like I said, I have some stories to share, and I know you have some stories to share too. So we'll talk about that. And I don't know, we're just going to keep talking about all things Reiki, healing, light worker, energy. Yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. So you've been listening to Elemental Energies with Chris Ann and Jeff. We're going to take a small commercial break. Listen to our sponsors. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back on PBNR, which is a division of the Pagan Business Network. We're going to be right back.
Is your ritual cloak ready for the rag band? Are your guest towels sad and worn? Is your tote bag begging to retire? Then you need Twitch's Stitches. Twitch's Stitches is a custom embroidery shop with a pagan flair. From the classics and everyday designs to ornate ritual style, fantasy, furries, mythical, and so much more. They do t-shirts, ritual capes and cloaks, sweats, towels, blankets, hoodies, totes, and more. You name it, Twitch's Stitches can embroider it. And they love custom orders, so if you don't find what you're looking for, they're only a phone call or a message away. So if you want quality items lovingly crafted and embroidered, you have to check them out on Facebook. And that's www.facebook.com/Twitch's Stitches. That's TWITCHES However, we can't be held responsible when your friends and family try to swipe them, so tell them to get their own. Twitch's Stitches, for the love of design.
Since 2014, the Pagan Business Network has been building resources by bringing together pagan-owned and pagan-friendly businesses. With multiple resources available, it doesn't matter if you're an artisan, musician, vendor, author, publishing company, blogger, podcaster, event planner, or any other organization. We have the resources here to help you succeed. Becoming a member is easy and affordable, even for the smallest of budgets. With your membership, you will get Business Spotlight, which is an article written in an interview style, complete with details and photos. Social media sharing through the Pagan Business Network. A blog roll. A membership card for discounts at participating businesses. You'll also get discounts on tickets to all Pagan Business Network events and so much more. You can check us out at paganbusinessnetwork.com for more information.
Hello and welcome back to Elemental Energies with Chris Ann and Jeff. And you're listening on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation about Reiki and healing modalities and light workers and energy and raising your vibration. And, you know, I was going to talk about a very simple way to raise your vibration is simply to smile and to laugh. That is a super simple way to raise your vibration. And one of my favorite stories about the Dalai Lama was he had gone to Auschwitz, and he's standing there in Auschwitz and he starts laughing. And everybody's looking at him like, what the heck is this guy doing? and he was laughing because it was a very easy way to raise the vibration. It had such a very sad, low vibration there for obvious reasons. And nobody had gone and laughed to raise the vibration. It's very much like us people that go to funerals and laugh. I am one of those people.
It's like, you know, every time we go to a funeral, it's like all these people are so upset.
Which is understandable.
Well, to a certain degree, but, you know, it's when I go, I am sad for them because they don't realize that they haven't lost anybody.
No, I know. I get that.
And that they will be seeing them again
Right.
and again and again.
Right.
You know.
But to go and laugh at a funeral is not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It's raising the vibration.
Even if you're asked to leave.
I've never been asked to leave. Have you?
No, but I usually don't laugh either.
I do. Clearly, I laugh everywhere. Well, I mean, I cry at funerals too. Don't get me wrong. But I can remember, even as a little kid, I was the one sitting there laughing because, I went to a lot of funerals when I was a kid, especially somebody that talks to the dead,
Yeah, you were laughing with the dead guy.
The dead. It's overwhelming sometimes when I'm talking to the dead, I'm talking to the living, especially at a funeral, because the dead person really sort of needs somebody to talk to.
Right.
And funerals can be a little overwhelming for me sometimes. Well, not sometimes, every time.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Sometimes I'm crying along with the deceased person, and sometimes I'm laughing with the deceased person. I tend to like to sit either in the back or on the sides where people can't see me.
Yeah, I remember the last time we sat in the back,
right?
And you're trying not to smirk and laugh because the dead guy was telling you all about.
Oh my gosh! About everybody.
Talking about all the other people in the church.
I was getting the real inside scoop about everybody that stood up to talk about him, and I wanted to say, "Would you be quiet for 2 seconds, please?" But I didn't.
Yeah.
He was enjoying his own funeral, as we all should.
Right.
So, yes, I like to go and raise the vibration when I go to these places. It's kind of fun. It's kind of kooky. But a super simple way to raise a vibration, whether you're at a funeral or not, is to laugh. Just by laughing, just by smiling is such an easy way. And it's infectious. If you smile at a stranger, hopefully they're going to smile back. And there you've brought a little bit of sunshine into their day. Just by saying hi. When a child comes up to you in the grocery store or wherever it is and comes up and says hi, you can't help but smile.
Right.
They're the ones that are getting this whole vibration energy stuff, and they're sharing it. And it's really neat. It's really a wonderful thing. We need to take some tips and pointers from the kids that get it. The crystal children around us that really, really get it on how to raise the vibration. Did you have any other ways that you'd like to share about raising vibration?
Well, I always raise vibration whenever I'm pretty much doing anything I enjoy. When I'm working with my hands, whether it be cooking or carving stone or whatever I'm doing, my vibrations automatically go up.
Yeah. Because you're feeling it in the stone as well.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, but I'm actually
You're happy.
I'm changing the stone.
You're happy working with stone too, though.
Right, but
and your stonework is gorgeous.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
I'm happy to have quite a few pieces of your work.
Well, just like when I carved your rune set.
Yeah.
There was a lot of love, of course, going into it, but because one of my gifts is reading vibration and manipulating vibration, I knew I love doing custom sets for people because I actually read their vibrations and I make these stone sets as a part of them, as a continuation, as a connection.
Right.
So when they get a set of my runes, they're already connected to them.
Absolutely.
I've had people I've done custom work for. You remember the woman in England?
Yes.
She was freaking out because she knew when they came into town.
Right.
When the postal office brought them into town, she knew they were there. Cool. She knew she was at the post office waiting.
That's awesome.
To pick those up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really exciting for me.
So I think when I do my artwork as well, I am Reikiing my artwork. So I'm putting that sort of vibration, that energy into my work. So for instance, in my glass work. So I cut glass, I fuse glass, I put it into the kiln. So as I'm cutting the glass and layering the glass and painting on the glass and stenciling on the glass and all these different techniques that I like to do to the glass before I load it into the kiln. So I'm raking it as I'm creating it. Then I am raking it as it's in the kiln. When it comes out of the kiln, I rake it again. In the shop, I'm walking around raking everything. So I like my pieces to have a higher vibration.
Right.
I can sort of tweak the vibration of my glass because glass has a wonderful way of holding vibration, because glass is actually really high temp cooked sand. Glass is a sand. So it's not just, people say, well, it's just glass. How can it hold vibration?
Well, it's like quartz.
Right. Actually, it is sand, if you think about it. Well, and it's different minerals that give it its color.
Right. But, the thing is, it's not like a Duracell battery or a rechargeable battery.
Right.
Once you manipulate and you change the vibration of something, it stays that way.
Right, it does.
It doesn't really lose its form. It doesn't lose its energy. It doesn't wear out. It doesn't run down. It simply is what you make it.
Right.
And that's why, just like that, the chakra coaster you sent me way back when I was still in Arizona.
Yep.
I'm like, well,
I brought it to you.
Yeah, you brought it to me.
Yes.
And, I could feel the energy.
Yeah,
and
I made it out of glass.
Emitting, and I'm like, wow, I really need, it's wonderful to have this as a coaster, but I want to do something else with it. So I had this idea, and I took it and I dropped it in my Brita pitcher.
Right.
And sure enough, it changed the vibration of the water.
Right, which was really neat, because my intent was for somebody to use it as a coaster, take their glass, put it on this Reiki infused chakra coaster that I created, which is actually, you can find them on our website at www.chrisanne-jeff.com. So there's a lot of Reiki infused items. So you're going to go and look under Reiki infused items on the website, and the chakra coasters are there. So I had intended it to be just a coaster that you put your cup on, and that great Reiki energy will be infused into your water or your tea or whatever it is that you're drinking. But I love the fact that you took it and you actually put it in your pitcher, and it's only glass.
Well,
it's food safe. It's, all that type of stuff.
The reason why I did it that way was because I found that the longer that the water was exposed to the vibration in the coaster was emitting, the more powerful it was. So, I was drinking 2 or 3 glasses of this a day.
Right.
Well, to be perfectly honest, it felt like moon water.
Right.
You know what? Maybe our listeners don't know what moon water is, but moon water is a jug of water that you put out during a full moon to absorb the energies and the charge. Now, it was a little bit different energy, but it basically cleansed my body from the icky energies that we're exposed to every day, all of us, and it brought in new energy, lighter energy, and it was very refreshing.
In fact, everybody that comes into the shop, we offer them a cup of chakra water. We always, everybody can have a tea or a water or whatever it is when they come here. We always have that sort of drink station kind of set up, and one of the things is chakra water. When I offer people chakra water, they always look at me like I'm a little nuts, but that's okay. I'm kind of used to that look, clearly. It doesn't faze me. But then I show them what it is, and I'll say, just, taste it and see what you think.
Right.
And it's really kind of neat.
It is, because you can put out 2 glasses. You can put one from the other pitcher.
Right.
You can put one from that pitcher, and it tastes fresher.
Right.
It tastes crisper. It tastes like it just sprung up from the center of
the spring, fresh spring,
of earth,
Right. Yeah, I think our Tai Chi people and our Reiki share people, and of course some of our students really kind of get it a little bit more. And they'll say, I would like a chakra water, please. Like, you got it. It's really neat. Yeah, so that's a great way to use energy and to sort of share it. Even if I'm not there to share it, our pieces and our work can continue with sharing the energy, and it's wonderful. And that's what it is when something is Reiki infused. So I know you probably see those words a lot. And what exactly does that mean? Well, that's what it means. I have given it the Reiki charge, and I've asked that Reiki charge to kind of stick around and keep boosting and helping everybody in need. And we even give the Reiki water the Reiki chakra water to the animals here too.
Oh, yeah.
So we're getting a question about, tell us how to make chakra water. So this is how we make chakra water. So I have my chakra grid coaster that I have created. So I have cut the glass into the different colors of the chakra: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and white. That's one coaster. The other coaster I did the other form of chakras, is red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and purple. So I offer the chakra grids in both forms. So these chakra coasters, as I'm cutting the different strips of glass, I am Reikiing it. As I am laying them in the particular order in my kiln, I am Reikiing it. When I'm taking it out of my kiln, so when I put glass in the kiln, it has to be a certain amount of layers, and then it has to cook. Now that particular one, I think, cooked in my kiln for about an hour and a half, but it has to anneal. And the annealing process means that I don't open the lid of my kiln. I turn off my kiln, but the lid stays closed, and the kiln has to, on its own time frame, get back to room temperature so the glass doesn't crack. Because if you opened the lid of the kiln with the glass being 1,586 degrees, it's not going to be stable, or even if I opened it when it was at 300 degrees, it ruins the stability of the glass. So you need to leave the lid closed on the kiln until it is back at room temperature. And I have a thermometer in my kiln that can tell me when it's back at room temperature. Essentially, it's at least 12 hours that you have to leave it there.
That's cool. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's really neat. So, piece of glass, and it's pain in the butt sometimes. that's the least favorite part. But some of my pieces I'm hand painting, and that part I love. But anyways, so once it comes out of my kiln, I of course have to wash it again. And I am Reikiing it again as I'm doing that. So because all this great Reiki energy is in this coaster, it's the chakra coaster, that's what we're putting in our pitcher of water. That's what's infusing our water with this chakra energy. It's really kind of neat. It's really fun. And actually, I've sold some of those coasters to some kind of big name people, which is really kind of neat. Yeah. I used to do a ton of shows all the time. So I was able to meet some of these sort of, we'll just say, bigger name people. And
so I've got a question
go ahead.
For you in regards to that.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the individual chakra colors, are you also Reikiing with that particular energy for that particular chakra?
I'm thinking base chakra,
right.
Red, base chakra.
To be honest, that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm carving my runes.
Cool.
When I'm carving Feihu, I am carving Feihu into a stone, and I am Reikiing it and putting. Feihu is all about prosperity,
Cool.
about financial success,
Right.
about having the things that you need and want in life. So while I'm carving Fehu, I am directing that intentional energy into that stone.
Neat.
The
Really
vibration
neat.
of that stone.
Really neat.
And that is really going to be very pertinent in the rune sets that I carve for my rune Reiki.
Right.
That's going to be incredibly pertinent.
Yeah, your rune sets are beautiful. And each one is so different and so unique. And you carve the pendulum boards, you carve huge, massive, gigantic Ouija boards that look like snapped off gravestones, and you carve them to look like they've been snapped off from a gravestone.
Those
it's
are
really
so much
neat.
fun.
It's really cool.
You know, the thing, I spend a lot of time on those. I mean, days
I know you do.
and days and days.
I know.
And
and they're amazing.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I really need to sell this for more than, $95 or whatever it is that we have the price on, because I spent a lot of time.
Yeah, your pendulum boards have wonderful energy.
It's also about the recreating of it. I get a lot out of it when I do it.
Well, it's part of your creative release that you need to have. So a lot of these items that we're talking about are on our website. The runes are not on the website yet.
That's because I just got my equipment out of storage and I haven't carved in about a year. So I need to
you
carve
moved
some
here
more.
about a year ago. So you've been working on the shop and the house, and it's just amazing. So check out the website. It's www.chrisann-jeff.com. CHRISANN Jeff, JEFF.com. And there you can find, go into the Reiki infused items, and you can see the chakra coasters. Those are there. That's what we've been talking about, how you can infuse your water. But I also use my chakra coasters as portable crystal grids. I'm all about crystal grids. I love crystal grids because when you create a crystal grid, now granted, the coasters are 4x4. So when you create a crystal grid, you can't always leave it where you've created it, because if I am trying to align my chakras, balance my chakras, and I'm doing this over a chakra grid, I can pick that grid up and move it to the windowsill or a bookshelf or wherever that's out of my way. And it still has that energy going and that energy flowing and that great healing Reiki vibe, high vibrational energy that I want. But I can't always leave that in the middle of my floor or in the middle of my desk or wherever it is I'm creating it. So when I put it on something like my chakra coasters, it now is functioning as a portable crystal grid.
Well, and because you're the one that created the chakra coaster, and you're the one gridding, isn't it true that it would also be returning that energy to you from the chakra coaster?
I didn't think of that, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of neat, because the
return on your investment.
Yeah. Well, the Reiki energy is just such a wonderful cycle.
Right.
Anyways, because it's simply coming through me. So it's really, really neat. But yeah, the people that have bought them have enjoyed them. I've had wonderful feedback, especially from you. You had given me some phenomenal feedback a few years ago when you got yours. But yeah, it's really neat when I'm at a show and somebody comes along and they just get it. You know, it's really, really neat. It's really cool to see, to see my sort of creation click with people, because this was something that I created. This was something that I came up with. I have since seen sort of other versions of this, but this is something that I came up with and I created because I wanted this for me, for that particular year that I created it. I know a lot of people got them as Christmas gifts and they're loving them, and they wanted to buy more for their friends, and I don't know, it was really kind of neat. So we have 2 different versions here in the shop, and there's 2 different versions on the website. I see the chakras as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, depending on where you are in the world and what your vibration is if you see the chakras the same way I do, or you see the chakras as green, orange, yellow. I mean, sorry, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, purple. So there's different ways to see the chakras, and I teach both ways.
So I have a confession,
Uh-oh.
secret.
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
share with you.
Yeah, like secrets.
I don't see the chakras in color at all.
Oh, I know you've told me that before.
Have I really?
You did.
Oh, it's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret.
The
to me.
cat is out of the box.
The cat is a long time ago out of the box.
Okay. So I
Schrodinger's
see it
cat.
as vibration.
I know you do.
I don't see it as color.
Right. I see it as color. I feel it as vibration, but I see it as color. And it's easier for me to remember them. I mean, I know their names, but it's easier for me to, well, I see them as flowers.
Do you?
I do. And as the flowers open and blossom, the chakra is opening and blossoming. And that's what I use in my guided meditations.
You know, I don't remember their names, but I remember their vibrations. And I see them as clouds.
Oh, that's cool too. No, I see them as Gerber daisies.
So if you start at the crown chakra,
yep.
The crown chakra is more like a white, fluffy, billowy vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And as you proceed down,
right.
The cloud gets darker and the vibration gets more primal, if you will. So,
depending on who you're working on, though.
No.
Really?
No.
It's not that way for me, though, is it? Because I'm so not grounded. I am.
Well, you have less activity
I do.
in your
in my base chakra.
In your base chakra, it's not. It's like a pillowy, rainy cloud.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to somebody else.
Somebody that's very grounded
yep.
and uses a lot of earth energy. Mm-hmm. Theirs is more like a severe thunderstorm type vibration.
I'm more fairy. I'm more fairy energy. So, I'm airy fairy.
So for you, your crown chakra appears to me is billowing white, light, fluffy.
Is there a thunderstorm going on?
No.
That's good. That's good.
I bring the thunderstorm to you, baby.
Ay, ay, ay. No, I've always seen them as flowers, but I guess that's part of the fairy energy in me too. Like how I changed that.
So Bernie in the chat room is talking about. He thinks that the chakras are auras, but they really aren't. The chakras are separate. The chakras are internal.
It can be correlated with your aura because a lot of times when I'm seeing some of the aura things, that lets me know what's going on within your chakras, but it also can tell me what's going on.
I see that.
Entity-wise.
Right.
You know, because I'm big on orbs, and I'm big on looking at the orbs that are all around you and the color of the orbs, and that tells me who or what's around you, and that can be within your aura as well. I don't know, to me auras just tell so much, but since I see everything as color and everything relates back to chakras, to me it can tell me what is either more tuned on or tuned off chakra-wise.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Well, for me, in what I see, the chakras are more like billowy clouds, but the auras are more of a solid.
Now see, I see the auras more as cloudy, kind of.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
For me, they're a less discernible, but like a solid. Not really a barrier, but
interesting.
It's hard to explain.
No, I see it as more of sort of that fluffy energy around the body.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
The screen.
Yeah.
In front of your microphone. It's translucent. You can see through it, but it's vibrating in a dark color. That's kind of how that I see auras in a varying shades of grays.
Cool.
But they're moving, they're vibrating.
Right.
It's really kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, no, I get it. That'll be your homework for the week. Figure it out. Go start reading everybody's aura.
Yeah, I figured it out for myself, but it's just kind of hard to explain it to other
But
people.
not everybody uses that within their practice.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
when I was studying years and years and years ago with John Holland, he gave us a really good way to kind of see auras. And I always remember this tip, and I use this with my students too. Have the person stand in front of a white wall. Look at their face, and now look to the side of them. No longer look at their face. Look at the side of them. Then you're going to start picking up on the colors. And I thought, well, that's really neat. That was a really cool way to do it. So that's a great sort of tip for you on how to see the auras.
And Bernie mentioned that he's heard it called a veil. And that, to be perfectly honest, that's really a good description of how I see it.
There's another thing that's called a veil also. I know sometimes when some children are born, they're born with what's called a veil over them, and that's actually a physical thing that you can see as well as an energetic thing. I know that's called a veil as well. And they say that those children are very, 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 very gifted and here for very special things. There's all different types of veils. But we need to take a little bit of a commercial break right now.
Okay.
So
I can do that.
You can do that. Okay, let's take a pause in our conversation. So you've been listening to Elemental Energies with Chrisanne and Jeff on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Are you looking for something special? For something more than mass-produced and ineffective magical wares? Then let me tell you about Beau Magique, with their wonderfully unique magical wares carefully handcrafted in small batches. From her charged waters using artisan well water gathered under the full moon, to their authentically crafted conjure and anointing oils, powders, and more, all handcrafted by Reverend Terry Brookins, using old and new recipes and super secret sources to be able to share her own brand of magic with everyone. Visit beaumagique.com. That's BEAUXMAGIQUE.com. Visit today. This is what you've been looking for. Hello everyone, this is Onyx Moon, and if you're interested in learning more about all things witchy, meeting wonderful and informative guests, and listening to authentic practitioners from many paths as we discuss a variety of topics that will expand your magical practice, then join me every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for Something Witchy, live right here on PBN Radio. By the pricking of my thumbs, something witchy this way comes.
Hello and welcome back to Elemental Energies with Chrisanne and Jeff. You are listening on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Welcome back for joining our conversation. We're talking about Reiki, different healing modalities, light work, raising your vibration. We're talking about chakras. We're talking about it all tonight. This is fantastic. So another aspect that I would love to continue to do on this show every Wednesday, the last sort of half hour of our show, I would like to talk about a different crystal. I would like to do a card so we can have sort of some of that card energy of the week, sort of a message for the week. And let's see, what crystal are we going to talk about tonight? Let me see here. Let's just see what we stop at. Oh, we got dioptase that we're going to talk about. Ooh, dioptase. Dioptase is a nice stone. It's an expensive stone. It's a really expensive stone. I have some in my personal collection, but it's a really expensive stone. Dioptase is a beautiful green stone, and it covers your heart chakra. Dioptase is really good for anybody that is suffering from exhaustion or from overwork. I guess I'm going to have to start wearing mine again. It calms the mind and the body, and it prepares the body for healing and repair. So dioptase is this beautiful sort of emerald green looking stone. When I say it's expensive, I mean it's really expensive. For like a little tiny piece can run you like $50, $75, $100. It's super expensive. A lot of times it's sort of the same price to get it in a piece of jewelry. And yeah, I have mine in a necklace. It's a fantastic piece, but it's not a cheap stone. So anyways, dioptase. If you have some, you're lucky enough to have some dioptase. It's found in Russia. It's found in Argentina. It's found in the US. And when you are sort of confused about what the stone is and how it correlates to whatever chakra, just if you know your colors chakra-wise, you can have an idea of what chakra that stone is going to correlate with. So if the stone is green, chances are it's going to work with the heart chakra. If the stone is blue, chances are it's going to work with the throat chakra, etc. So kind of go that way. So this stone, dioptase, being green, is one that's going to work with the heart chakra. All right, so there's our crystal for the week. Now, would you like to do a rune of the week, please, Jeff?
Okay, I can do that. So what shall we do this week? Let's do Yara.
Ooh, cool.
Yara is a very interesting rune. It's all in regards to, it's the time rune. Basically, what it is it speaks of cycles. So in this case, in the divination of this rune, it is talking about reaping what you have sown. So we really have to be careful of the things that we do and how we treat others, because, you know, it all really does come around and it does come back to us. If it be negative, it'll come back to you in a negative fashion. If it's a positive working, it'll come back to you in a positive fashion. So, Yara, be good. If you aren't, it's going to come back and haunt you.
Come back and bite you in the butt.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Well, as you can hear, I am shuffling my cards. I decided to pull the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. Since we were talking about John Holland, this is one of John Holland's decks. And since we were talking about dioptase, which is related to the heart, I decided Psychic Tarot of the Heart, that kind of fits. So it's kind of guided to this deck. This is a really fun deck. We'll give a little quick deck review on this deck. This is a Hay House deck. John Holland does do a lot of work with Hay House. And he started off as a psychic tarot reader, actually in Salem, Mass. And he would read for Pyramid Books, which we love going to Pyramid Books in Salem. That's one of the places that we like, going down by the waterfront. And I believe that's where he started. I believe that was the story he said. So anyways, this is one of his decks, and it's called the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. It's a much thicker deck. It's a thicker box than a lot of the other decks by Hay House. And I'm looking to see how many cards are in this deck. 65. There's 65 cards in this deck, as opposed to, let me look real quick how many are in sort of the regular. Of course, this one's not going to tell me.
I think mine has 78.
44. Yeah, well, you have a thicker deck too. Yeah, the traditional box, the sort of regular Hay House box, has 44-ish cards in them. So this one has more than the regular traditional deck. And also, the thing I really hate about Hay House cards, which I've said time and time again, and I will continue to say, I don't like that gold and silver paint they put on the edge. I mean, it looks pretty, but it's that paint glitter stuff that gets all over you and all over your face and your hands, and it drives me insane. So this has the gold. I mean, it looks pretty, but come on, it gets all over me and makes a mess, and I've got enough problems. So anyways, let's pull a card from this deck. Oh, the other thing I like about this deck is there are chakra cards within this deck. John Holland adds chakra cards to this deck and I think his other deck, the Psychic Tarot, I think that has chakra cards in it too, if I recall correctly. Oh my goodness. Speaking of that, the card I pulled card number 1, which is talking about new vitality, which is somebody playing the lute. And as he's playing the lute, each of the chakra colors are coming out of the pan flute thing he's playing. Maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing. It looks like the pan flute thing. Your buddy Pan. So he's playing that, and all the chakra colors are coming out. So new vitality, breathing new life, breathing new vitality into your chakras, getting your chakras in balance, getting your chakras to flow the right direction, getting them to spin the same direction is wonderful. Getting them to be open enough that energy can flow, that vibration can be just so wonderful. And this is a good card for the week. This is some amazing energy that we can bring in for the week. This is saying that new vitality is going to be coming in for the week. How cool is that? So let's pull one more card since I'm on the roll. Okay. Ooh, the card of moving on. So this card is talking about letting go what is not serving in our highest and best good, being able to leave it there and move on to bigger and better things. So somebody's listening needs to move on. So when we're holding on to something that is, so let's just use the example of a person in a relationship. So if you're in a relationship with not the right person, but you're sitting there thinking, well, I wish the right person would come along. Well, the right person can't come along because that space is being occupied already. So until that space is vacant, the right person has no place to come in and occupy that space. Sure. There's no space for them to come into.
I would love to be able to utilize that a little bit more.
Well, moving on is hard.
Yeah, letting go of some of the things that I'm having to
deal
with
emotions
right now.
Wow. It's hard. Well, we all have that. And energetically, things are really a bit much right now with Mercury retrograde, with all the planets. There's 5 planets retrograde right now. There's a lot going on, energetic, astrological, etc. There's a lot going on. So in order for us to move on, we need to be able to sort of cut some of these ties of these things that aren't in our highest and best good. We need to be able to cut so we can move on. We can bring in the higher vibration to be able to heal our heart. And by releasing who doesn't need to be there, could be a healing for their heart as well. How phenomenal when we all sort of work together.
Yep.
And holding on to the wrong person, the wrong situation, the wrong job, the wrong whatever is not serving your highest and best good. And maybe there's somebody else that would be better suited for that situation or that person or whatever that is, whatever it is that we're talking about. And if we're able to let go and move on, sometimes that's an emotional process in itself, but that's okay. We can give ourselves permission that it's okay to move on. So, move on.
Yeah,
that's part of the thing for the week.
I'm trying.
Here, let me draw one more card. Because I like to do things
easier said than done sometimes.
It is. Oh, cool. How apropos is this one? So we're awaiting some results. So in order to get the results, isn't that neat? So in order to get the results that we need to move on, like I said, so that space is there, that space is available for those wonderful energies to move into, to be ready to be awakened for us. How phenomenal is that? So really cool card. So the first card I pulled was the new vitality, moving on, and then awaiting the results. So you can't sort of rush things either, because things need to happen in their time.
You know what's really funny that I just realized?
Yes. Are you trying to rush things at work?
No.
Oh, what?
Your card reading falls right into step with my rune reading.
Oh, cool. We always do that.
that's just the way that I read my runes.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, we do tend to piggyback on each other's readings. That's why we do gallery readings together, because we work so well together. Go figure. So cool. So you can't rush things. You need to let it happen in its time.
In its time, in its tiara.
Unless it's me telling you to get some stuff done and I give you the like honey to-do list, then you have to rush it.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Then that's a situation to be rushed.
Gotta crack your whip.
That's right. That's why I walk with a stick, so I'm gonna whack you with it. Yeah, but everything will happen in the universe's time.
Right.
We have come into this life predestined with what it is that we need to learn on a soul level. And because of that, because the universe is aligning so that we can learn our lessons, things are going to happen in their time, not our time.
That's true. And in the society and the country and the world that we live in, we are so used to demanding instant gratification.
True.
And the universe just doesn't work that way.
No.
A lot of times you have to learn to be patient. I mean, look how long it took me to find you.
I know.
In this life. It's like, wow.
I know. You're getting old over there.
I know.
And I'm just getting younger.
Yeah, that's true.
But what a good thing it was that we each had to go through our own experiences. You had to have the sort of
excitement that
crazy people to appreciate the normal people.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go normal.
I already did.
Normal
for me. But I think that's sort of what makes you appreciate me more. And I appreciate you as well, because you're somebody that lifts me up, and we meet in the middle and we work well together, obviously.
Well, one of the things that I enjoy with you as well is I feel very safe investing myself with you.
I know, you've said that. That's
because
wonderful.
We do lift each other up.
Yep.
We do, but we also respect each other as equals.
Right.
We value the things that make us who we are.
Right.
So it is really a good partnership all the way around.
Yeah, the universe did something right this time around.
Yeah,
we chose on a soul level that we were ready
to get back together.
Right. I think it's been such a long time, lifetime ago, that our souls needed to go and kind of learn making fun of us in the chat room. That's okay. We teach connection classes for couples so they can have a deeper connection, energy-wise. So
absolutely.
We teach all this fun,
but it's
not
just about energy-wise. It's about this class that we're teaching, the connections class, is about a stronger walk together.
True. Very, very true. And I think it's wonderful that we are able to sort of teach that because we live it.
Right.
We learned the hard way. I think your path was a little harder than mine, to be honest.
I don't think so. You had a lot of
a challenge.
Things that you had to go through.
I've had a lot of personal challenges, not just in my relationship lives, but I've had a lot of personal challenges.
I'm talking about other things.
Yeah. No, he's not a bad guy. He's different, but he's not a bad guy.
No, I'm not.
You're talking about personal challenges. Yeah. Being somebody that has my own physical limitations doesn't let it stop me. I still do what I want to do. My mouth still works perfectly fine.
Yeah, don't I know?
I don't stop talking. I'll talk your ear off.
How many radio shows do you have now?
I only have 4. It's okay.
That's right. Well,
my throat chakra is activated.
You have 3.
3.5.
3 in a partnership.
I'm happy to have a partnership.
Me too.
That's what makes this show so much fun. Not that my others aren't fun, because they're a total blast too. But it's different, and I like it. It's cool.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, we're fun together. We have a great time. even if even if Raven Wings is laughing at us on the chat room, and that's okay. It's cool. It's wonderful when you find what works for you and you are able to celebrate it. And I think for us to be able to share that is part of how we can sort of pass that on, and we can share that, and we can help others to get to where we are.
So Bernie is mentioning about her relationship and the cycles that they go through, and they have a really strong relationship as well.
Wonderful.
Our deal was that we actually only got together twice in a year.
Right.
So we were separated for
time, space.
Time, space, and
distance.
Right. I mean, we were 3,000 miles apart for a long time.
Right. And so I think that that's kind of what just it makes it work. You know, we are partners in life.
Right.
We're partners in business. And, you know, that's kind of neat. I'm glad that you're the one that got it.
And you know,
filled that spot.
And you know
in
what?
My life. Mm-hmm.
I don't get tired of it. It doesn't annoy me. It is perfectly comfortable.
I plead the fifth. No. I'm kidding. No. It's wonderful because I used to do, for instance, I'll use the example of the psychic fairs. I used to do all these psychic fairs by myself, or my mom would help me, or I had some dear friends that would go and help me. But it's different doing it with you, my partner, my life partner, my business partner.
Right.
It's neat because we have sort of that unspoken communication that happens, that when you need me, I'm there. When I need you, you're there. It just works. And that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
Thank you.
Well, this has been a really fun show.
Absolutely.
It's been a great, great time. So tune back in next Wednesday, and we will be chatting about some other topic. We don't even know what we're going to talk about until.
Who knows with Facebook?
I know. Until just before we go on is when we're like, okay, let's talk about this. We don't plan these things at all. It's just what happens to be going on that we like to talk about. So tune in next Wednesday because you never know what we're going to talk about. So thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. You've been listening to Elemental Energies with Chris-Ann and Jeff. And I'm Chris-Ann.
I'm Jeff.
And you're listening on PBNR, a division of the Pagan Business Network. Be free.